The chandelier's crystal teardrops caught the light in that fateful moment, transforming into a cascade of deadly shards plummeting toward the crowded ballroom floor. Marcus Owens didn't think he reacted. Throwing himself forward, he shielded the elegant woman in the blue dress, his body becoming her sanctuary as glass rained down around them. He felt the sting of crystal cutting his back through his rented tuxedo, but all he could think about was keeping her safe. "Are you okay?" Marcus asked, his voice rough with concern as he carefully lifted himself off her, mindful of the glass surrounding them. His one night out the one evening, he'd managed to secure a babysitter for his 8-year-old daughter, and here he was, bleeding at a charity gala he could barely afford to attend. Sophia Wilson blinked up at him, momentarily stunned by both the falling chandelier and the selfless action of this stranger. Yes, thanks to you." She took in his kind eyes, the worry lines around them, and the determination in his jaw. "You're hurt." "It's nothing," Marcus insisted, wincing as he helped her to her feet, careful to guide her away from the glass shards. All around them, people were gasping and pointing upward at the now empty ceiling mount where the ornate chandelier had hung moments before. Sophia couldn't take her eyes off the man who had just risked his safety for hers. Blood was seeping through his white dress shirt where the jacket had torn. Without thinking, she pulled a silk handkerchief from her clutch and pressed it to a visible cut on his arm. "I'm Marcus," he said, oddly self-conscious under her intense gaze. "Marcus Owens." "Sophia Wilson," she replied, her voice softer than she intended. For someone accustomed to commanding boardrooms, she felt unexpectedly vulnerable. "We should get you looked at." Security and hotel staff were already rushing in, followed by paramedics. Marcus tried to wave them off, but Sophia was insistent. "This man saved me," she told the paramedics. "Please take care of him first." "Really, I'm fine," Marcus protested. "I need to get home to my daughter." "The sitter can only stay until 11. Sophia checked her watch. It was barely 9. "At least let them clean you up, I insist." There was something in her tone that didn't invite argument, yet remained gentle. While a paramedic attended to the cuts on his back, Marcus explained that he was only at the gala because his construction company had done minor renovation work for the hotel, and the manager had offered him a discounted ticket as a thank you. "Not exactly my scene," he admitted with a self-deprecating smile that made something flutter in Sophia's chest. "And what is your scene, Mr. Owens?" she asked, genuinely curious. "Saturday morning cartoons with my daughter, Lily, building tree houses. Teaching her to ride a bike without training wheels." His eyes softened. "Simple things." Sophia felt an unexpected pang. Simple things. When was the last time she'd experienced those? "What about you? What brings you to this gala?" Marcus asked, unaware that he was speaking to the woman whose foundation had organized the entire event. Sophia hesitated. "I support the cause," she said simply, choosing not to mention that she had donated $5 million to the children's hospital being honored that evening. People treated her differently when they knew who she was, what she was worth. For once, she wanted a conversation untainted by her wealth. After the paramedic finished bandaging Marcus's cuts, assuring him that none required stitches, Sophia found herself reluctant to part ways. "Can I buy you a coffee, as a thank you?" Marcus glanced at his watch. "I have time before I need to get home." They found a quiet cafe across from the hotel, away from the chaos of the accident. Marcus ordered a simple black coffee while Sophia chose a tea. As they talked, she was struck by how refreshingly honest he was. "No posturing, no hidden agenda. So it's just you and Lily?" she asked carefully. Marcus nodded, turning his coffee cup in his hands. "Her mother left when Lily was 2, decided parenthood wasn't for her." There was no bitterness in his voice, just acceptance. "It's been the two of us ever since. What about you? Family?" Sophia shook her head. "My parents passed away 5 years ago. No siblings. I have a circle of friends, but..." She trailed off, not wanting to admit how isolated success had made her feel. "It must get lonely," Marcus said perceptively. Their eyes met, and Sophia felt understood in a way she rarely experienced. "Yes," she admitted softly, "it does." When they parted that night, Marcus hesitated before asking, "Would you like to exchange numbers? Maybe we could grab coffee again sometime." Sophia smiled, feeling like a college student rather than a 32-year-old billionaire CEO. I'd like that very much. Their coffee date turned into a lunch the following week. Sophia found herself enchanted by Marcus's stories about Lily and his construction business. He'd started it from scratch after working for others for years, and though it was struggling in the current economy, his pride in what he'd built was evident. The hardest part is balancing everything, he confessed. Being there for Lily while trying to keep the business afloat. This economy has been rough on small construction companies. Sophia, who had made 3 major acquisitions that morning before meeting him for lunch, felt a strange sense of perspective. Her wealth seemed abstract compared to Marcus's tangible struggles and joys. "What does Lily want to be when she grows up?" she asked, smiling at the way his face lit up at the mention of his daughter. "This week, a paleontologist. Last week it was an astronaut. Before that, a veterinarian," he laughed. "She's got big dreams." "Those are all wonderful aspirations," Sophia said warmly. "She sounds like a remarkable little girl." "She is," Marcus agreed. "She's the best thing in my life." He paused, looking slightly embarrassed. "Sorry if that's too sentimental." "Not at all," Sophia assured him. "It's refreshing." By their third date, Sophia found herself sharing more personal details about her life, though still carefully omitting the extent of her wealth and power. She told him about losing her parents in a car accident and inheriting the family business, though she described it vaguely as investment work. "It keeps me busy," she said with significant understatement. "Sometimes too busy for a personal life." Marcus reached across the table and took her hand. "Everyone deserves a personal life, Sophia." His touch sent warmth spreading through her. "When was the last time someone had held her hand without an ulterior motive?" "I'd like you to meet Lily," he said suddenly. "If that's not too much pressure. We're having a picnic in the park this Saturday. Nothing fancy, just sandwiches and maybe flying a kite if the wind cooperates." Sophia felt a flutter of nervousness. Meeting his daughter felt significant. "I'd love to," she said, meaning it completely. Saturday arrived with perfect weather, sunshine, and a gentle breeze ideal for kite flying. Sophia dressed down in jeans and a simple blouse, driving her least ostentatious car to the park. She spotted them immediately, Marcus spreading a checkered blanket while a small girl with pigtails and a gap-toothed smile bounced excitedly beside him. "You must be Sophia." Lily called out, waving enthusiastically before Sophia had even fully approached. "Dad says you're really nice and pretty and smart. Are you going to fly the kite with us? Do you know how to make a kite do loops?" "Dad does, but he's not very good at it." Marcus laughed, his cheeks coloring slightly. "Give her a chance to say hello, Lil." Sophia knelt to Lily's level. "Yes, I'm Sophia. It's wonderful to meet you. I've heard so many amazing things about you, and I'd love to fly the kite, though I might need some lessons." Lily's face lit up. "I can teach you. I'm really good at it." The day passed in a blur of simple pleasures. They flew the kite, with Lily patiently instructing Sophia on proper technique. They ate peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that tasted better than any gourmet meal Sophia could remember, and they laughed so much laughter that Sophia's cheeks hurt. When Lily ran off to join a game of tag with some other children, Marcus and Sophia sat side by side on the blanket. "She's wonderful," Sophia said honestly. "She likes you," Marcus replied. "She doesn't warm up to everyone so quickly. The feeling is mutual." Sophia watched Lily playing, feeling an unexpected longing. Her life was full of achievements, acquisitions, and accolades, but empty of the kind of joy she saw in that little girl. Marcus's hand found hers on the blanket. "Thank you for coming today. It means a lot to both of us." As the weeks passed, Sophia found herself seamlessly integrated into their lives. Movie nights with Lily, where they built blanket forts in Marcus's modest living room, helping with homework at the kitchen table. Simple dinners where they all cooked together. For Marcus, watching Sophia with Lily was a revelation. She approached his daughter with genuine interest, never condescending or impatient. She asked thoughtful questions about Lily's interests and remembered the names of all her friends. One evening, after putting Lily to bed, they sat on Marcus's porch swing, a bottle of inexpensive wine between them. "You're amazing with her," Marcus said quietly. Sophia looked down at her glass. She makes it easy. She's such a bright, curious child. Like her father, he teased. Exactly like her father, Sophia agreed, leaning in to kiss him. Their relationship deepened, but Sophia's secret weighed on her. Every time Marcus worried about a client payment being late or mentioned the rising cost of Lily's after-school activities, she wanted to tell him that she could solve those problems with a single phone call. The opportunity came unexpectedly. Marcus had invited her to Lily's school science fair. Sophia rearranged her entire schedule, canceling a meeting with international investors to attend. As they walked through the school gymnasium, admiring the children's projects, Sophia heard her name called. "Miss Wilson, what a surprise seeing you here." She turned to find the school principal approaching with an extended hand. "I had no idea you had a connection to our school. We're still so grateful for your foundation's grant for our new STEM lab." Marcus looked between them, confusion evident on his face. "It's a worthy cause," Sophia said diplomatically, her heart racing. "This is Marcus Owens, and his daughter Lily is presenting today." The principal's eyes widened with recognition. "Of course, Lily is one of our brightest students. Her dinosaur project is quite impressive." After the principal moved on, Marcus turned to her. "Your foundation," Sophia took a deep breath. "Can we talk about this later?" After Lily's presentation, Marcus nodded, but she could see questions forming behind his eyes. Lily's presentation was indeed impressive, a detailed model showing how different dinosaur species evolved over time. She beamed when she won second place, clutching her ribbon as they took her out for celebratory ice cream afterward. That night after Lily was asleep, Sophia finally told Marcus the truth. "I should have been honest from the start," she began, sitting beside him on the couch. "The Wilson Foundation isn't just something I support, it's mine. My family's company, Wilson Global Investments, is one of the largest investment firms in the world." Marcus stared at her. "You're rich," Sophia almost laughed at the understatement. "I'm a billionaire, Marcus. I run a multinational corporation with offices in 27 countries." He was silent for so long that anxiety built in her chest. "Please say something." "Why didn't you tell me?" he finally asked, his voice quiet. "At first, it didn't seem important. Then, as I got to know you, I worried it would change things between us." She reached for his hand. "People treat me differently when they know. They want things from me, or they feel intimidated, or they see me as a bank account rather than a person." "Is that what you thought of me?" A flash of hurt crossed his face. "That I'd see you as a bank account? No," she said quickly. "Never. But I've been burned before, and what I feel for you and Lily, it's too precious to risk." Marcus stood up, pacing the small living room. "I don't know what to say, Sophia. I feel like I don't know who you are." "I'm still the same person," she insisted. "The woman who loves Saturday mornings with you and Lily, who can't cook to save her life but tries anyway, who falls asleep during action movies. But you've been watching me struggle with bills, worry about my business, cut corners to afford Lily's activities." He ran a hand through his hair. "Do you know how that makes me feel? Like a charity case." "You have never been a charity case," Sophia said firmly, standing to face him. "You're the man who threw himself under a falling chandelier to save a stranger, the man who raised an incredible daughter on his own. The man I've fallen in love with." The words hung in the air between them. It was the first time either had said it. Marcus's expression softened. "You love me more than I thought possible," she admitted, "and it terrifies me because I've never needed anyone before." He closed the distance between them, taking her face in his hands. "I love you too, but no more secrets, okay? I need to know who I'm in love with, all of her." "All of me is in love with all of you," Sophia whispered against his lips. In the days that followed, they navigated this new reality. Marcus struggled with the imbalance in their financial situations, his pride making him resistant to any offers of help. "I don't want your money," he told her firmly. "I need you to understand that." "I do," Sophia assured him. "But I also need you to understand that my wealth is just one part of who I am. It doesn't define me any more than your struggles define you." They worked through it together, finding a middle ground. Sophia was careful not to overwhelm them with extravagant gifts or offers to solve all their problems. Instead, she integrated herself into their lives organically, finding meaningful ways to contribute without undermining Marcus's independence. When his truck broke down, she didn't buy him a new one, she helped him research the best deal on a reliable used model. When a client backed out of a major contract, leaving his business in jeopardy, she didn't simply write a check, she connected him with her network, helping him secure new projects based on the quality of his work. For Lily's birthday, rather than showering her with expensive presents, Sophia organized a dinosaur excavation adventure at a local museum, giving her the experience she'd been dreaming about. Slowly, Marcus began to see that Sophia's wealth was a part of her, but not the most important part. What mattered was her integrity, her kindness, and the way she loved them both. 6 months after the Chandelier incident, Sophia invited them to her home for the first time. She lived in a penthouse overlooking the city, with floor-to-ceiling windows and modern furnishings. It was beautiful but minimalist, not the ostentatious display of wealth Marcus had half expected. Lily ran from room to room, wide-eyed. "You can see the whole city from here," she exclaimed, pressing her nose against the glass. "It's nice," Marcus admitted, taking in the view. "But it feels a little empty," Sophia supplied. "It always has. Even with all this space, it's never felt like a home." She took his hand. "Not the way your place does." That night, after Lily had fallen asleep in the guest room that Sophia had secretly decorated with dinosaur bedding, they stood on her balcony, the city lights twinkling below them. "Move in with me," Sophia said suddenly. Marcus looked surprised. "Here," she shook her head. "Anywhere. We could find a new place together, something that would be ours. With a yard for Lily, space for your workshop, maybe an office for me." She paused. "Or we could renovate your house if you'd prefer. I just want us to be together." "Are you sure? Your life is so different from ours." "My life is empty without you two in it," she said simply. "Before I met you, I had success and achievement, but not happiness, not joy. You and Lily showed me what really matters." Marcus pulled her close. "I want to build something with you, Sophia, a life, a family. But I need to contribute too, not just financially, but in every way." "That's all I want," she assured him. "A true partnership." They decided to find a new place together, a fresh start. They chose a beautiful home with a large yard in a neighborhood with excellent schools. Marcus insisted on paying what he could afford for his share, and Sophia respected his need to contribute. She understood it wasn't about money, but about dignity and equal partnership. The day they moved in, Sophia watched as Marcus and Lily explored their new home, claiming spaces and making plans. Lily had already decided where her telescope would go in her new bedroom window, while Marcus was mentally designing the tree house he would build in the backyard oak. "What do you think?" Marcus asked, coming to stand beside her. "I think I'm finally home," Sophia said, leaning into him. Life settled into a new rhythm. Marcus's construction business began to thrive, partly due to his exceptional work and partly due to the connections Sophia had subtly facilitated. He specialized in sustainable building practices, eventually becoming known for eco-friendly renovations that attracted high-end clients who shared those values. Sophia continued to run her empire, but made changes to create more balance in her life. She established firm boundaries around family time and delegated more responsibility to her capable executive team. For the first time, she understood that success without someone to share it with felt hollow. Lily blossomed with 2 loving parents in her life. Sophia never tried to replace her mother, but created her own special relationship with the girl. They shared a love of science that led to weekend experiments in the kitchen and stargazing sessions in the backyard. One evening, nearly a year after they'd moved in together, Marcus asked Sophia to join him for a walk in their garden. The space had been transformed under his careful attention, with flowering paths and a small pond that attracted frogs that Lily loved to count. "Remember how we met?" he asked as they strolled hand in hand. Sophia laughed. "How could I forget? You literally saved my life." "I was thinking about that moment, how everything changed in an instant." He stopped walking and turned to face her. "One second I was just a guy at a charity event I could barely afford, and the next, I was shielding the most amazing woman I've ever met from a falling chandelier." "My hero," she said softly, touching his face. Marcus took her hand and slowly lowered himself to one knee. I didn't know then that you were a billionaire, but I was already falling hard for you before I hit the ground. Tears sprang to Sophia's eyes as he pulled a small box from his pocket. I saved for this, he said with quiet pride. It's not the biggest diamond in the world, but it's perfect, she interrupted, though she hadn't even seen it yet. Anything from him would be perfect. Sophia Wilson, will you marry me? Will you continue building this life with Lily and me for all our days? Yes, she whispered, pulling him to his feet and into her arms. 1,000 times yes. They were married in a ceremony that balanced Marcus's desire for simplicity with Sophia's ability to create magic. They held it in their garden, with Lily as the flower girl, proudly scattering petals down the aisle before taking her place beside her father at the altar. Their vows were personal and heartfelt. Marcus promised to always catch her when she fell, literally or figuratively. Sophia promised to build a life of substance and meaning with him, one day at a time. At the reception, held under twinkling lights in their backyard, Sophia's assistant approached with an urgent message from Tokyo. For the first time in her career, Sophia handed the phone back without taking the call. It can wait, she said simply. Today is about family. Later that evening, as they danced under the stars, Marcus whispered in her ear, "No chandeliers above us tonight, we're safe." Sophia laughed, resting her head on his shoulder. I've never felt safer than I do with you. 2 years later, their family grew with the birth of their son, James. Lily, now 11, took her role as big sister seriously, reading to the baby and explaining the world to him with all the wisdom of her years. Sophia established a foundation focused on supporting single parents and their children, providing resources for education, housing, and entrepreneurship. Marcus served on the board, bringing his practical perspective to their philanthropic efforts. On the 5th anniversary of the night they met, they returned to the hotel where the chandelier had fallen. The space had been completely renovated, with a new, more securely installed lighting fixture. Should we stand under it for old time's sake? Sophia teased. Marcus pulled her close. I think I'll pass. Once was enough. They found a quiet corner and ordered champagne. As they toasted to 5 years of life together, Sophia reflected on how differently things might have turned out. If that chandelier hadn't fallen, we might never have met, she mused. I don't believe that, Marcus said with certainty. Some things are meant to be. We would have found each other somehow. How can you be so sure? He lifted her hand to his lips. Because in every version of my life, I'm looking for you, and I'd recognize you anywhere, billionaire or not. As they drove home to their waiting children, Sophia thought about the strange twist of fate that had brought them together. A falling chandelier, a selfless act, and two people from different worlds discovering that what they needed most was each other. She had spent years building an empire of wealth, but it was Marcus who had shown her how to build something far more valuable, a life rich with love, purpose, and family. In the end, that was the greatest fortune of all.